State Capitol now, there is a push to address what's called surveillance pricing, a tactic that uses your personal data against you, charging you a different price for a product or a service than someone else.
What we're talking about is using massive amounts of data to figure out how much people will pay and then charging a personal, individualized price.
Well, proposals to address this type of pricing are garnering bipartisan support. Danny Spiewak leads us off live from the Capitol tonight. Dan.
Well, the way you can think about this is, let's say you're on your phone, you're online trying to book a flight or buy a product, and you're getting a different price based on how old you are or where you live. That's what surveillance pricing is. And although it's difficult to know just how widespread the practice is in Minnesota, if it is widespread at all, there is a bill and multiple bills actually moving through the legislature this session that would ban the practice. From the airline industry to ride sharing, corporations are beginning to incorporate artificial intelligence into their business models.
It's happening across the economy.
In the Minnesota House, DFL Representative Emma Greenman sponsors a bill that would ban companies from employing a specific AI tool known as surveillance pricing, which sets prices based on individual consumer data.
And these models are driving small businesses out of business, and they are making it so that Minnesotans and consumers are paying more, and it's just not fair.
In a House committee this month, Republicans scrutinized the idea, and groups such as the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce and the Minnesota Realtors Association also raised concerns.
We appreciate the goal of protecting consumers. However, the impacts of these bills should not unintentionally eliminate discounts, increase operational costs, or restrict tools that help retailers deliver savings to customers.
Still, even in a divided legislature, the bill remains alive this session, and surveillance pricing is under the microscope at the national level, with an investigation ordered by Republican U.S. House Oversight Chairman James Comer.
My biggest thing that I focus on when I talk to regulators is transparency.
Christopher Flathman, an expert on AI at Clemson University, says it's difficult to know how surveillance pricing is being used, but bipartisan pushback has led companies like Delta and Instacart to issue statements promising they won't set prices based on individual data.
The questions you've asked me here are, well, where is it happening and who's doing it and how are they doing it? That to me matters substantially more than if it's happening and the impacts of it. Because at the end of the day, I think the goal of legislation should be to protect the consumer. And I think one of the best ways to protect them is making it possible to be an informed consumer.
Now, today at the Capitol, in a Senate committee hearing, there were other bills around AI, very bipartisan bills for the most part, looking at regulating AI tools brought by DFL Senator Erin Maye Quade. There was one of the bills that was around dynamic pricing. That is one that Democrats are still looking for Republican support on. But this is something that there's going to be conversations back and forth probably the rest of the session. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Danny.